This is like absolutely crazy to me. Just watch.
This is absolutely crazy to me. Watch. Sex worker and Michael Knowles go back and forth about me saying I need prayers. You guys keep saying I'm obsessed. I just want the truth to... So you want the truth? This is the truth. The truth is that I got absolutely radically saved by Christ. And when
Like radically saved by Christ, bro.
I say radically saved, it's because I came out of such an incredibly dark place in my life.
It was dark because she was covered in $4 million worth of cum-covered cash.
So dark that I had suicidal thoughts.
Oh.
So dark that I felt numb inside.
So dark that she would film herself doing pornographic content at the tanning saloon.
Dark that I lost my family. So dark that I couldn't hold on to friends or family, and the only thing I had was material.
Because I was a sex pervert and a degen.
Truth here? What truth is it that you want to hear? I know that you want me to get off of social media
Yes.
for
Yes.
of 5 years. You want me to not wear makeup. You want me to change my hair. But the fact of the matter is that I wear my shame on the outside for everyone.
I wear my shame on the outside. It's not that. It's the outfit that I wore while I got fucking railed by 100 different dudes in the past 2 years.
To see what Christ has done for me. That is the absolute truth. I know that you don't want me a part of society. Clearly, you don't want me a part of social media, but that's just wrong because the Bible is truly talking about the word of your testimony. I'm going to share it right here. So the Bible says here in Revelation.
Oh. A thoughtful Bible study from a bimbo. Hopefully she made sure to think about it before she said anything ridiculous, right?
Word of your testimony. I'm going to share it right here. So the Bible says here in Revelation.
The Bible says right here in King James Version, Revelations 12:11.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. So that Bible verse.
See how unsure she was when she read that last line right there? Unto death. Let's zoom back there. Play it one more time.
By the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death.
Unto the death. Oh, and it gets even better. She's not done telling us what she thinks about that Bible verse.
Specifically talking about people with a testimony. And if you know and love Christ and Christ has saved you, you have a testimony. It doesn't matter what you did in your past, who you were, who you hung out with, what you said, believed, listened to. That is your testimony. The testimony that Christ gave you when he saved you. Not everyone gets saved in church, okay? I got saved in the middle of my living room alone. So I, again, don't understand why I'm not even saying persecuted.
You sound a little bit discombobulated and lost in your thoughts.
Being persecuted by any means, because Jesus was the one that was persecuted. Now, as Christians, sometimes...
How did we get here, lady?
I don't feel persecuted by this. I just want to bring...
I feel...
truth.
People on the internet are bullying me and calling me a whore. Oh!
If you're genuinely looking for the truth, that is it. I got radically saved.
Radically saved, bro. Radically saved. That's the truth. And that's why I'm testifying here. Well, the truth is, the story that this semen demon right here is referencing has absolutely nothing to do with giving testimony. Just a single line from the story mentions that. That story being the woman and the dragon. Of course, the new right-wing influencer lady right around the block is reading Revelations. You have to be quite the fool to think you can just quote the words that John the Younger used to decipher and describe the revelations that God bestowed upon him? Let's give it a quick read here to see what she's all about. Then I witnessed in heaven an event of great significance. I saw a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon beneath her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. She was pregnant, and she cried out in pain of labor as she awaited her delivery. Suddenly, I witnessed in heaven another significant event. I saw a large red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns on his heads. His tail dragged down 1/3 of the stars, which he threw to the earth. He stood before the woman as she was about to give birth to her child, ready to devour the baby as soon as it was born. She gave birth to a boy who was to rule all nations with an iron rod. The child was snatched away from the dragon and was caught up to God, to his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where God had prepared a place to give her care for 1,260 days. Then there was war in heaven. Michael and the angels under command fought the dragon and his angels, and the dragon lost the battle and was forced out of heaven. This great dragon, the ancient serpent, called Devil or Satan, the one deceiving the whole world, was thrown down to the earth with all his angels. Then I heard a loud voice shouting across the heavens, "It has happened at last, the salvation and power and kingdom of our God, and the authority of his Christ, for the accuser has been thrown down to earth, the one who accused our brothers and sisters before our God at night." And then her quote from 11, "And they have defeated him because of the blood of the Lamb and because of their testimony, and they were not afraid to die." I don't think that story had anything to do with giving your testimony. So, if I had to give Nala, our little new harlot, around the area in the right-wing sector of Christianity, if I had to give her a little bit of a tip, lurk more and talk less. I suggest starting with something more simple at your level, like Jonah and the big fish. Otherwise, you're just doomed to say more silly and ridiculous stuff, just like this.
I was right there listening and ready to hear what he had to say to me and ready to accept that precious gift of life that he offers every single one of us, not just me. Okay? And another thing you said here. The problem with it. Jesus hated false prophets. He hated them. All right, so let's really talk about what a false prophet is. Here, I brought up the definition for you if you're really unclear about it. Okay.
She's trying to look for the definition of a false prophet on Wikipedia. She's not going to the source where she's referencing the story, not to the Bible. No, you need to go to Wikipedia to find out what Wikipedia has to say what a false prophet is, not what Jesus says.
It says that a false prophet, in religion, a false prophet is a person who falsely claims the gift of prophecy or divine inspiration or to speak for God, or who makes such claims for evil ends.
or it's those who are turning people away from Christ.
Often someone who is considered a true prophet. So I am by no means claiming that I have the gift of prophecy, that I'm trying to predict the future, or that I have some kind of divine inspiration on God. What I'm literally
on God. Oh, she realized she said something, a bit of an uh-oh earlier, and she's gonna say it again.
And clearly and truthfully doing is sharing what God did for me, which is not a lie, because one, you weren't there.
You weren't there! I was there! It was God's doing. It was his plan. God was in control. God was in control.
At all. I just seemed to like pop up in your radar because my story just kind of blew up, which was also God's doing.
Which was also God's doing. It made my video popular. It certainly had nothing to do with the fact that you made it into the top 0.1% of OnlyFans by sucking cock and and making stupid faces. No. But it gets even worse.
Completely of losing my entire following because of I became a Christian. So Jesus had other plans, which was incredible, but if his plan for me...
I was gonna lose my entire following, but Jesus just magically had other plans for me to keep me going and growing. Oh. Not only did this mascara mannequin invoke God as the provider of material fame and fortune that she received, but she also said Jesus personally told her to to not get off the internet. But she concludes her little rant here.
Was to get off social media, I would listen to him, not listen to you. So I just want to run these things by you because one, you seem like I'm lying about some big thing in my life. I'm really sorry you feel
I'm gonna
that
listen
way.
to Jesus,
and the
not
reason
you.
I said to Michael Knows was that I needed to pray for you was because I genuinely am praying for you. Because someone saying these things about someone else's walk with Christ. Truly, I don't think personally has experienced
Personally with Christ guiding her.
in the least bit.
Calls Pearl unchristian-like. Quite a conclusion for Nala to come on to. So, I decided I'd write our little new buddy here on the right a little song to welcome her to the community. You know Lauren and Brittany and Miss Cooper, Ashton and Candace and Riley and Radfem. But do you recall the most famous thought of all?
Okay, scroll down. So that's...
Look! Wow.
Nala, the red-haired hooker, had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw her, she might be down to blow.